Saturday, this Saturday, from noon until 3, POP organization is hosting a COVID-19 testing event, what they call it.
Yeah.
Listen to that. A COVID-19 testing event. We have partners in there, and one of the partners is 180. So 180. This is like some groundbreaking stuff. 180 and their new leadership is partnering with POP, and there's some other organizations that are going to be involved in the testing event. It's going to be over at the church parking lot on 425 Groveland. That is the Methodist Church, the United Hennepin Methodist Church, United Methodist Hennepin, something like that. Big, huge sanctuary on Hennepin. In the rear of it, there's something they call the Dignity Center. The Dignity Center is the outreach arm of that church. So the Dignity Center is hosting us in that parking lot. We're going to be testing all the guys that come from 180 and then folks from other locations. For those men, I really need all hands on deck for this. And what I really need from our guys is, and women, is, a friendly smile, a greeting, a way to manage crowds. If there's a crowd, we don't have no way knowing. We put it out there. We've done, I think is a decent job of organizing. And so we just want to keep everybody comfortable, happy. Happy is maybe not the right term, but just, all right with the testing, because sometimes if you know how in this world we live in, people can't even wait for a stop sign. I don't know about you, but I stopped going just because the light turned green. When the light turned green, then I wait a minute and watch to see is any food coming through there, and then I go. Because this is how it is now. It's a new day. And so what we want to do is try to make sure everybody's good. You have to have on your POP t-shirt. It's got to be clean. And for anybody who is a smoker, this is going to be a non-smoking event. It's a healthy event. So you can't be a POP guy in your POP shirt around the corner smoking.
Oh boy.
Right. So we can't do that. And if some people who are smokers and cannot go an hour or two without a cigarette, then I'm going to ask for you to sit it out. But I'm going to talk about it some more. Anybody got a question about it?
Is there a fee charge for the test?
Free.
Okay.
Totally free.
I've been mentioning a little bit wrong.
Okay. And we can get tested too if we want. You know what I mean? So our guys can get tested too. Go ahead.
I've been waiting on my shirt for 3 months.
What show?
My 5X POP shirt.
That wasn't my
I
job.
thought that was your shirt. I'm sorry. My
Man, you know what? Them niggas might have got you because I didn't I give you that?
No,
I ordered some products just for y'all, man. I had you in mind. But Donald Anderson and them that hit me up. I don't know what's going on. Roger, you had a question or comment. I'll see what we can do.
I was going to ask the same thing somebody just asked. When we get tested, so it got an answer for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you can get tested.
Take advantage of that.
Absolutely, get tested. And so let me give you the backstory. I was so surprised by it because really nobody would. Let me say this correctly. The reentry community is not on anybody's radar.
right.
I'm just going to wait for all of the amen. And with that in mind, POP, we said, because we tested all of us, and that worked for us, at least it brought us down to what I call a negative bottom line, right? So everybody started out negative, and we had 1 or 2 people positive. They quarantined, they got better, they came on back. This thing you can win it if you manage it. All right. So anyway, but a few of the halfway houses got really aggravated and offended by the whole thing, and feel threatened And they actually were saying they really don't want to know. They said this is how they said that. Well, if the guy, hey, if the guy's not showing any symptoms, we don't see any reason to test him.
Wow.
Well, what that means, though, is if people are asymptomatic and are infecting others without showing any symptoms themselves, which you say, hey, that freezer got you down, didn't it? But in other words, what they're saying is we are more interested in keeping people in these beds and keeping that income coming than we are in trying to figure out, are people healthy or not? And then what we got to do is quarantine, and we got to set up a place for quarantine. Yes, in a pandemic, you do have to. So we were really, I don't know if it's surprised, but we were prepared really for that response, because we weren't asking about them, we were asking about the guys. And so what they were saying is, we're going to separate this information from them because we don't want to do it. So anyway, 180 though, 180 didn't take that attitude, and 180 is so we were really trying to lift them up because they are bold enough to allow their residents and staff to be tested. That's pretty bold given the dynamic. So I just want to tell you that. And how's it? Everybody all right here?
Yes, sir.
There's one more thing I'm going to do. Miss Cheryl was sitting there with Wayne. Would you have her come in here? Sure. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Miss, you see Miss Cheryl? Yeah. We're going to read Cheryl's letter. Miss Cheryl is a part of us. She's been fighting to get her son released from. What's up, son? Come on, give me some love. That's Kid Mason right there. Give him a big hand. That's Kid Mason. Yeah, hey, sure. Sit down right here. Oh, Cody's over here. This is Miss Cheryl right here. Y'all remember Cheryl? She's been traveling this last year and a half. She's been rolling around. She left here. She was here every Tuesday, but she left here, went to New York for 2 months or something like that. Remember that? Right. And then we missed her too. And then she came back and went to LA. Texas. Look at that. Curtis Harris is here. Give my hand. I don't hear nobody. Give my hand. That's probably right there. You want somebody to recognize you. That's right. Hey, Doc. Well, you look good.
Yep.
All right. Yep. All right. Thank you, man. Good to see you.
You want to sit here?
HCMC.
Sit right here. Yeah.
Thank you, DeAndre. Yeah, thank you. And then what we're gonna do is Chinny slide back to the board so that them guys can slide down, y'all slide down, and then we can bring some more chairs in. You two Dr. Webb, you'll finish eating that. Slide on back. Electric slide.
Real smooth.
One time. Okay, look, but here it is. Turn it up. Okay.
All right.
Here comes Miss Cheryl's son has been trapped for a long time in SOPT, right? And I think his whole case is about 20 years. 20 years. It was egregious. Has anybody here made a bad mistake? Raise your hand if you have. Oh, yeah. So we just say they made a bad mistake. But, 20 years is a long time to recover from it, right? So I wonder, but he wrote a letter to his attorney want to read this letter real quick. I just want you to hear this guy's thinking. Mr. Ron Hurst, I would like to know the plan or strategy prior to going to the October 1st hearing. We've got an SRB hearing, October 1st. My hope is that we are or can be on the same page. Is anybody listening to this?
Yeah.
What's his hope? But I must inform you that it has come to my attention that the conversation between you and the Whiteheads and Mr. Burnett, I don't know who the Whiteheads are, maybe Mother knows. It was suggested by you, Mr. Roundhouse, that Thomas Weber, that's him, is a deviant sexual predator to date. You know you can't trust these dangerous people. Quotes, he's putting these in quotation marks. There was also a conversation with Mr. Jack Burnett that I'll not get into at this time. I want to put those very strong subjective remarks aside in hope it wouldn't affect your ability to be an attorney working on my behalf. This is why I'll need to hear your plan for my hearing. I'm going to read that again. This is why I need to hear your plan for my hearing prior to October 1, 2020. If your plan is above board, then I'll know that what you said to the Whiteheads and Mr. Burnett did not contaminate your ability to be a competent attorney who's fighting for my life, which is what is in question at this time. This is an odd way for me to prepare for a hearing that could change my life, Mr. Roundhurst. If you think you can't do that, brother. You got to turn it off.
I didn't know it was up.
Okay, but turn it off. If this is your stance, I strongly encourage you to ask for a continuance and recuse yourself from my case as soon as possible. I have an absolute constitutional right to effective assist of counsel. You, Mr. Roundhorse, took an oath, remember? If you don't want to be here, then please don't. Thank you for your time and consideration. Now, this is a well-written letter here. It has, and you know how we can get when you're incarcerated. We can get real
Politically correct.
and jailhouse lawyer orientated. But this smacks though of a request. This is somebody who has been incarcerated for 20 years. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to have a chicken conversation right now while we're talking about this. But watch this right here. I said this guy has been incarcerated for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, how old is he now? So see, this whole notion of failure to be transparent in that SOTP program, this is its impact right here. And so what we got to do is, I'm going to be on the panel that, now they're doing a Zoom. Some things you got to do in person. I understand. I understand the violence. Some things you have to do in person. But in any case, I'm going to participate in the Zoom request and not be asking, what is the plan for this guy's release? And it should be mentioned at this time. It needs to be clearly talked about right now. Or we'll be here 20 years from now asking the same identical question. So, and Cheryl is, been through the ringer, as you all know, some understand and some still trying to realize it. When you get locked up, it didn't just lock you up.
Right.
I'll wait for you. And so she's been doing the 20 right with him.
Yeah.
And so she I don't know, I forget how she found her way to us. It don't really matter right now, but she just came and became like just a strong part of our family. And so here she is back and fighting for her son. Give her a little love. You want to say?
I love you guys. I missed you all, even for the new ones. The young man walked into my car. We talked.
Yeah.
He was at Moose Lake.
Yeah.
You know, I miss you guys, and I
We
love
miss
you
you
so
too.
much. You all were in my prayers all while I was gone.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to be back.
Amen.
We're happy to have you back.
Come on, give some love.
Can I say, Michelle, I want to say thank you. Because some of us, when we're locked up, our people don't want to do our time with us. So they just leave us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But you've been there with him, doing this with him, supporting him in this struggle, in this fight. For that, I thank you.
Wow, that's good, brother. And Steve, you know, I'm gonna speak up on Steve's parents' behalf a little bit, because Steve kept going back and back and back, and you know how we beat people down with that, and then they start not believing in you, and then look, when you come out, they say they're glad to see you, but they hold a stopwatch right behind their back and click it. Wondering how long it's going to take for you to go back again. Yeah. This is where Steve is right now, and this is the time, Steve. This is why I was having that talk with you a minute ago. This time you have to be totally focused. Somebody say total focus. So, look, there are some things in life, as a man and a woman, you have to have total focus on. And anything short of total focus is not going to produce the dividends for you. Back in my day, we had a saying that said, you got to put your whole weight on it. Push your weight around, right? And here you have to move your weight, push your weight around now, get totally focused on staying home, right? Because they'll come back to you, but they want to see something. And you know, they ain't wrong for that. You know, when you get 5 chances or 4 chances, you know, they're like, hey, what? I don't know, girl, I don't know. And let me say something else to Steve, what he don't realize, or maybe you do. Sometimes when you get locked up, your family get teased and talked about hindsight, and you know what I mean? People just, you know, even at church, you know, people say, oh yeah, you know, girl, you know that, you know, hey, that boy ain't never coming home. You know, see what I mean? It's little innuendo and other kinds of little dynamics that people go through, your family members, when you're locked up. And you're up here trying to deal with the vicissitudes of incarceration, which are impactful in their own mind and self, but you can't really realize what other people are going through along with that. But give Steve some help for taking that.
All right, Steve. This brings us home what Pops was saying, that I used to be a person that be in and out. So I've been out since 2018, September 10th, 2018, from Rush City, and I've been out ever since. I've made it off of ISR. I'm focused. I made my life change when I decided to focus on myself, and everything else came second. So I came goal orientated, and my end result is I got 2 jobs right now. I got a few cars. I got my life together.
Yeah, he got a few cars all right.
I just sold one yesterday. So
that's the church say amen.
Amen.
But I want to say, look, and then here's DeAndre. Since we're talking about now the door, DeAndre, but look, DeAndre been out as long as he ever been out. And I told him, I said, every day, honey, we got you home right now, big baby, you know what I mean? It's a record. He's breaking the record. Give him my hand. Give him my hand. You know how the NBA breaking records and all these track stars are breaking records. DeAndre is breaking records and he'll give him a hand. Right, I don't care what nobody say. I'm proud of him, man. Hey, what's up, Bex? Why are you a chair get in here? But I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't tell you how I used to be up here, going back in Lionel Lakes, and here's DeAndre sitting in there looking at me. You know what I mean? I want to just say, you know, you remember James who talk about get on the good foot. You know? Yeah. So the same with Steve. Now Steve he done had a chance or two, and he's a smart boy. You know what I mean? He popped in Lionel Lakes and did a great job. As did Roger and others. You know what I mean? But we have to support them in whatever way we can to stay home.
Amen.
To stay free. Somebody say stay free.
Stay free.
Now I just want you to think about what you just said. Don't say nothing, just think. Somebody say, I am.
I am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Just think about what you said. So this is where all that ever comes from. Here go Moses. He's climbing the mountain, right? The sacred space, and he hears a voice and sees a bright light and a burning bush. Somebody say the burning bush.
Burning bush.
Watch this. He gives Moses some instructions.
Say that.
You had instructions on your release plan. Am I lying? The instructions were clear. Thou shalt not mess around with them chicken wings at night and smoke them doobie-doobies. Thou shalt not find yourself in the company of dope fiends and other users. Am I talking to the right crowd in here? Thou shalt not get caught up with them dope fiend using women and become a dope fiend yourself. Am I on the right page? It was on your parole plan. I'm telling you, it was wrong there. Right. This is what Moses got. He got some thou shalt not. Boy, don't mess around. I'm gonna get happy up in here. Watch this. I'm gonna just tell you something else. And then when he gave Moses the instruction, this is what he said. Nobody's gonna believe me. Who should I say have sent me? Right? Now listen carefully. And he said, tell them that I am. That I am sent you. Say I am. That's where the somebodyness comes from. Right. See, when you begin to speak in terms of the I amness, it says that you recognize the authority that you was given from the Almighty. I'm just telling you the truth. And when you begin to recognize the authority, then you don't have to fight with the thou shalt nots anymore. Right. Here's for the next guy. Pass the list. See, you thought you were just coming for chicken wings. So see, look, we can go to church up in here. I'm just trying to say, I want you to stay free. Say, stay free. Stay free. Say, I am. I am. Somebody. And you know, I'm gonna give Chris a little dap. He ain't perfect, but he need a little dap because he's done a good job.
My main motive is staying free.
Yes, sir.
I learned that while I was behind the walls. I used to hear my relatives, lament about purse being snatched and other people coming in the neighborhood. Like, I wasn't there to protect them. And it didn't dawn on me. I said, man, did you notice every time you leave, some drama come around there, man, and I have a house full of women.
Right.
I'm the only boy. I ain't got no big brother.
Right.
So when I come out, I'm coming out blasting, right? You know, you know what I'm saying? You find out who I am afterwards, right? But that was my job, you know, to make sure that my family could walk down this street without being raped or purse snatched. You know what I'm saying? And she can go to the store. And I had to make a sacrifice that I never regretted. I had to join the local gang to ensure that my family, you know what I'm saying, was able to come and go, right?
Yeah.
And when they went to jail, I looked out for their family, you know? And when I went to jail, a few dedicated ones looked out for mine. But I could never shake that. When I'm missing and I'm in jail, ain't nobody out there to protect my family. So for no other reason, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if I'm a drunk on the steps, right? You know, I'm there and I'm there available for them.
Wow. Boy, that's some deep stuff. You know what I got out of that? I'm gonna let somebody else say something. I'm talking too much. I don't mean to, but you know what I got out of that is, again, what we said earlier. See, our behavior, it impacts other people.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just going to tell you for myself, I didn't really think initially, I didn't think about how my behavior impacted other people.
Right.
I really didn't consider that. I was too selfish and locked into what I was doing to give about what you thought about what I was doing.
Right.
But that was my nature. My sin nature was all over me, and I couldn't break. I didn't even see it.
Wow.
You understand?
Oh yeah.
So when I hear saying he came in through a family of women, and as a protector, I get what our assignments really were from the beginning.
Right.
But it took me so many years to get that. And I'm asking, I'm praying that this group is helpful so that you don't have to spend as many years travailing as I did. Go ahead.
Man, that's, Curtis, he hit it right on the head.
Right.
Far as that protective thing, that was some of my thing too, but, and when it all boiled down to it, guess who was locked up? Me. I was locked up, and I felt, did all this, and nobody was there for me. So, but can't use the poor me thing on me.
Yes, sir.
I had to grow from it. And my pop asked me, I think about 2 months ago, he said, who you married to? And I was like, man, that man crazy. Triple again, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get away from him. He asked me that, I said, I don't know. He said, to your job. Here it is again. I had a job and it was so beautiful and I was making so much money. But you know what? A job can be gone just like this. If you feed off into what your clients is doing. I had a status. Well, all my clients love me, but I was feeding off to what they was doing. And it was gone in 0.5 seconds.
Wow.
So when I see that and got that took from me for the first time in my life, I was like, man, I didn't even want to come to the group. I didn't want to be bothered with nobody, none of that stuff. So guess what I started doing? I had to start going to church. And it happened. Foot got messed up. Operation. But I got on my knees and prayed. I prayed. I said, you know what? Someone got to give. And I know what it is. It's me. So when I did that, I started praying. I said, man, I got to get I had lost weight, stressing. People were looking at me like I was crazy. They're like, boy, you smoking crack or something? Like, no, y'all just don't know. I was going through a depression mode, and I just didn't know how to speak it. Everybody else is seeing it, but I didn't know how to speak it. Voice. So praying is a good thing for me, and I'm talking about taking my medicine. Something I'm supposed to been doing, I didn't do it. Also, all that weight, scary. I was down to 187 pounds. I was 250 something pounds, and went poof, and I could have hurt myself. But here it is again, though. God led me to another good job, a better job, something I like to do, and I've been snatching my gas too. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know, don't worry about it, because we all fall short and glory. But
Yeah, that's
if
right.
you live in the water, if you stay in that water so long, you gonna drown. That's my story.
Yeah, come on then. You know, and don't, hey, wait a minute, don't Curtis look good?
Yeah.
Somebody else give Curtis a hand. Yeah, it looks good over there. You might get a date later tonight. I don't know. Put this on Papa's side. Whoa. Somebody else. Hey, David. What grade? Did you that?
I've known you since I was a kid. Yeah. And I've known your sisters. I don't think too many of them need no protection. But, me and Cheryl was real tight. Me and Nate, right? Yeah, man. But I always just loved your family, man. I mean, you know, that was the place to go to. Your house. We go to your house. You know, we sit over there with Nate Daniel, right, and Cheryl, right. She was a mess. Yeah. But that was my girl, man. That's all I want to say, man. I love you, brother. That's
man, and these niggas done went to Chicago on me. Look, see what I'm saying? You can come to group in Minneapolis. You want to talk about Zoom? Now, did you see that it was Zoom? They went all the way back to the south side. Women just, you know, and Will, what you got to put on that? Will's in online. What you got? Hold up. Go ahead, Will. Y'all muted up and everything.
Okay, my bad.
There too.
Trying to mute. Hello? Can you hear me?
He's muted on his side.
Can you hear me?
No, they saying it.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. All right, we're gonna come back and let Wayne work on it for a minute.
Can you hear me?
And don't it feel good in here? Yeah, but it's kind of warm. It feel good in here though, because it then got all hot outside. You know, little kind of like an Indian summer type day. You know, but it feel good in here because we got so much spirit and truth. There's so much truth in here. You know what I'm saying? Some people got a guest over here. She ain't never been in here before, but she done already been impacted because of what's going on in here. You know, so say pop down on 3, 1, 2, 3. See what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, watch this. I'm gonna come back to you. Hold up. I'm gonna come back to you. Watch this. I want you to catch on a little bit. Everybody jump and grab the Acts of Faith.
So read it, Pop.
Go ahead and read it loud.
Some kids do what they say. Some kids do what you say not to do. But all kids do what you do, unknown. A 13-year-old was sent to the cleaners. They were told to go straight there. They did, but they did not come straight home. On the trip home from the cleaners, they became involved in an egg fight. More than half a dozen eggs ended up on a $300 suit. They took the suit home, rolled it up, put it in a plastic bag, and hid it in the closet. 3 days later, when they were asked about the suit, they started to cry and produced the bag with the festering suit from the closet. The child is still alive with all of her limbs intact. The parent took a deep breath and reminded themselves, there are times when I did not follow instructions. I did not, or I do not, always admit my mistakes, and I try to cover them up. When I am put on the spot, I cry. Whenever I'm confronted with something I've done wrong, I usually don't lie. If I really want to understand why my children behave the way they do, I must take along hard look, or long, hard, honest look at myself.
Good.
That's good.
When I see my children, I see myself.
That's good. Read the reflection.
Reflection. Do I ever see undesirable behavior in my children that that they learned from myself?
Ooh, so good.
What
am I?
or what am I willing to change today?
Oh, give Chris a big hand. That was good. Really good. And then with the word for Chris too. Chris, I'm gonna let you. A couple other people talk first, and to you because that's a word for you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Say your name because everybody don't know you.
My name's Rhea. Okay, like I added up, because all my brothers here, they did a lot of time, so I added up how much time I did in the 4 times I've been in the penitentiary, and it was 15 to 16 years.
Wow.
So, because I never really had a short bit, but I didn't have no, But I wasn't scared of anything. I went so many places that were so dangerous, and I was not scared. I was taking subway to Harlem at 5 in the morning. Just crazy stuff. I wasn't scared of nothing. But right now, I am scared of going back. I'm scared. I'm scared.
My Lord.
And that's a good thing. And I'm just...
give us some love right there. I'm going to let somebody else jump in there quick. Go ahead. Wait, I just responded to just what Sis said. Give us some feedback first. Anybody got feedback from that? Was that a word for anybody in here? Go ahead.
Wow, because you said a lot.
Yeah.
And all of us should be afraid. All of us should be scared. We sit up there and say we ain't scared. When we get behind that closed door, look.
Right.
I remember one time, I'm telling you, look, Pop came up there to the job. I was so hurt. I got to reflecting. I just left the Million Barge. I did this. My life was so beautiful. It was fine. But I made that choice. And I knew better. You see what I'm saying? So when we say we're not scared of something, I think we telling the fear because I'm telling you, man, I done been to Skid Row and I went down there, walked down there, see the people living in the cardboard boxes. Cardboard boxes, living out of cardboard boxes. I was like, I thought it was like Jewtown. Oh, they said, this is Skid Row, baby. You see it.
Wow.
Hey, I'm talking about when he left the prison, I cried. Because I'm like, man, he's gonna leave me. You know what I'm saying? So he was gonna leave. I just they come and see him, but I had to sit over there bound because I know this is gonna make me ease down. I always said about the chapel, but when he came, I was right there by him, and it made me feel okay. You can let it go.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah.
You gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep that faith, keep praying. Keep your prayer. Because I know you just said this last week. You said, hey, I'm losing it. You're not losing it. Take our time, step by step. If we got to crawl, look. If we got to ask a friend, we got to ask my pop or whatever. You have to. You got to let it go.
I just got one real quick thing to say to them.
Lord, you next.
I'm glad I'm scared, but I'm trying to. People have been helping me, and they've really been helping me. And I mean, I've been in the last, it ain't even been 2 years. I got off the plane with my prison blues, and now I'm in my own place. But I've been thinking, And I've been smothering people in my circle that been helping me, you know. And I gotta kind of back up and let them do their own thing. They can't always be helping me. You know what I'm saying? And just that realization showed me how much I had grown to even realize that. Because before that would even came across my mind, you know?
Other people.
Yeah, that I'm smothering people like you, first level. You know, I gotta let you, you know, you can't always be there for fifth. She's had to stand up and do stuff for herself. So that's kind of a lonely thought, but it's real, you know.
That's a mature thought.
No, I'm gonna hold you up 1 second because there's another brother and sister came in here. And I just think that's a good time. Now, this is Donald's sister right here, and I want Donald to introduce his sister, and then I want you to kind of respond to what you hear my sister say, or whatever the reading is saying. Donald, I want you to introduce and everything.
This is my sister Joyce, my twin sister Joyce. 2 minutes over her. I said, when I came introduced, I said she's even feeling a good time. But no. I think what you said, Will,
I'm coming right to you.
dealing with sisters and brothers, especially situations, top don't mind doing things for you. Because if we lose you, it's going to be terrible for everybody. It's devastating for everybody. I mean, all you have to do is open your mouth and ask for help. We can't help you all the time, you know, because we got responsibilities, and I'm only as long as you think you do. We'd like to see you go on your own.
Right.
You know, if you go through pain, you struggle. Without the struggle, without the pain, you won't grow. You know, but you know this, that when you open your mouth, you ask for help. Somebody's going to show you. That's what we're about here. That's what kind of love, and that's kind of respect that you don't got. You don't earn that. And we're like, we give you charity, but we just come for you. We give it to you because of what you don't earn. How much respect that you got. You don't come from a place, a dark place into the light, and we want to keep you in the sunshine. We want your light to shine. Even if you don't think it deserves to be shining every day. When we want it to shine, we want to help you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's good.
Just don't forget where your help comes from. And they say, finally, count your blessings.
Yes.
Don't forget to count your blessings. Yes. That's all.
Give Donald some love right
I'm not a twin sister, and I'm really the best friend.
now.
You know, they say, you know, when you're in prison, you know, you gotta know the family go to prison with you.
Yeah.
I went to prison, we was 24, you know, 1982, I think, something like that. We was 24. That means every birthday he had in prison, I had a birthday too in prison. And if nobody went to prison with him, Doris went to prison with him. I did everything in prison. I did everything. I was the crooked one. I did everything. Anything downstairs for me to do in that prison, boogity, 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 boogity. I ran to that prison. I had 6 other brothers and sisters, but nobody came for Donald like Doris. Okay? I waited for him 27 years straight. I mean, when I say I waited, I spent my money, I waited and I waited. Okay? So I felt he was obligated to me.
Right.
You care about that prison? Well, shoot.
Right.
Nobody waited for me. He was obligated to me.
Right.
Okay? But when he got out of prison, no, he ain't been out here free. I've been free.
Right.
So he had to see everybody, everything, do everything, talk to everybody. He didn't have time for me. I'm just gonna tell you, he didn't have time. I was devastated. Look, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, devastated. But I had to think back, just stand back a minute and say, well, you know, I've been here. You know, he ain't got a chance to look at all the women and ride a car and talk on the cell phone. And, you know, but I have, you know, so I had to step back and say, okay, not be jealous, because I was super, super jealous. More jealous of the people that didn't do nothing for him that he wanted to see than the people that, like me, that did everything for him that he didn't have time for me. But I learned to just sit back and wait, you know. So I'm gonna tell you real, you know, I've known you since we was little kids. I know Shane ever since junior high school. I know Medea. I know I could go back, you know, to a long, I know, you know, I know these people. When I say I know them, I can just look at them and say, I know Rhea, I know Shane, and just remember that you got to love you first. I've been where you been. I done done what you done. I ain't been to penitentiary a lot of times. I did a little time. But you gotta love you first. I learned to love you first. And you know, to put God first.
That's right.
All the other stuff that's gonna go, it's gonna go. I'll tell you, when you put God first, you will be surprised, you know. You know, back in the day, you know, when we was on the street, you know, you say some of that stuff used to happen, you say, wow, that happened, I didn't get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know, and I said, only by God's grace. I'm gonna tell you something, they were shooting so fast. When I was running so fast, I was shooting so fast. I said, oh Lord. You know, the bullet burned my friend's face, but I was standing right there, and it burned her face, and it didn't get me. Only God's grace. Only God's grace. And so he left me here. So you can tell everybody in this room that you might be scared. But Lord, here I am. Here I am. Okay. My brother always says I try to run his life.
We can't see any of that. Let's give her another hand right there. Now I want you to jump in there, Dr. Webb, I'm going to help you right after.
All right. My name is Larry. I'm a pop guy. 3 weeks I've been going through a lot of ups and downs. Had a relapse and got a monitor put on my leg. Those were bad things. I was waiting on a lab report or whatever, and Shane Price and Tierra went with me, and I know what it is to be scared.
Sure.
But I've never been scared of no one in the penitentiary. I've never been scared of police or none of that stuff. But I stayed, and I leaned on my own understanding. I heard this twice. I heard it from Pops and I heard it from Tierra. And that made me fall back, because now I'm thinking that I got prostate cancer and I'm really devastated about this, you know, so that really scared me to death. But then I missed the meeting and stuff like that, and I just wanted to push everything and everybody away, you know. And so anyway, I came back around, and Pops and Tierra went with me to the hospital. Said I peeped downstairs, like I said, this is my pop, this is my brother, which I never lied. And so they said, well, okay. And they came up, and the doctor got to explaining everything, you know. And he said that your prostate is enlarged, but you don't have cancer. Yeah, it really made me.
Yes, sir.
Yes. It really was.
Claim it.
Really made me want to do better than what I've been doing.
My Lord.
Yes.
You know,
Come on.
I've been back on the ball, you know, doing everything I'm supposed to do. And I'm just not afraid, you know. I'm just not afraid. I even had a chance to talk to my daughter. She was like, how come you don't call us? You know, we got to reach out to you first. You know, and so I was able to talk to my oldest daughter, and I told her, and I said, you know what? I never really talked to women about, you know, prostate, you know, and stuff like that, you know, because I don't know, I think that it was more like a man thing, you know, but then again, I realized a lot of men don't even talk about this. Anyway, I just been growing strong day by day, you know, and especially when that doctor said that, you know, it gave me more pep in my step. You know,
It will give me a lot more pep. I told him that I got happy. You know,
I started carrying my word around with you know, my daily bread, you know, even on my race and stuff like that. Got it in my bag here today, you know, so, you know, I heard somebody say by the grace of God. It is by the grace of God.
Yes, it is.
Give him some love. Dr. Webb, come on.
Great is our faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All that I need, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord. That's all I hear sitting here.
Yeah.
Great is his faithfulness. Even when we were in the pit, he took us out of the pit and put us in the palace. Great is his faithfulness. When I didn't know, I was covered all the time, but I was playing fiddle.
Wow.
You see, and it was the grace that God had placed over my family, the elders in my family, but yet I was still running. I was running from myself because I was afraid to walk in my purpose. But the moment I learned that my purpose was already planned for me, I began to move in a different direction. Grace. Grace. This is great. I've been home 4 months. This is great. Not knowing how I was going to earn my income. It's been his grace.
That's right.
Paying my bills, didn't understand how I was going to pay my bills. It's been his grace, and it's been his grace has been new every morning.
My goodness,
Not the grace from yesterday. It's new every morning.
Oh my goodness. Thank you up in here.
That's what I hear, and that's what I feel in the spirit realm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's God's grace.
Oh, he's great.
It's keeping us. We could have been laid up in the hospital, Larry. You could have been infected by the cancer. But God said, no, my grace.
That's right.
Yeah. Give the doctor some love this morning. The doctor hit us so hard, the dog got ready to get up and run. He can go run through the church. Hold on 1 second, Larry. Go ahead.
Greg, glad you say yes.
Okay, good. And Miss Lolita, what you got?
Thank you.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
Ooh, the Spirit of God is in this place. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Ooh, I want to start with you, girl. You know what? Y'all know I was scared. I wasn't scared of being in the world, you know, all that slick crap and all that junk. I wasn't scared of them. I was scared when I got saved. I was scared that, you know, can I do this? I can't swear. I ain't gonna be swear. You know, they talk about don't cuss and, you know, don't be doing the thing. You know, doing the thing. Y'all know the thing. You know, everything was the thing. Everything was the thing. I can't do that. You know, I gotta transform my mind. You know, how you gonna do that? I've been walking in this mind for 33 years after I got saved when I was 33. You know, God, you never changed my mind and my heart. What you talking about? I've been walking in this right here. You gonna change it all. But it is. But it is. But it is.
It sounds impossible. And you'll be in that street life and say, man, get out of here with that, you know, with such and such and such. Right.
And I was scared. Like sometimes I might cuss. Like, you know, you go to Sanctified Church, you better not be cussing. You know, you be cussing it. Sanctified Church is just totally different, you know. But I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this. This ain't none of me. I can't do it. But I kept on walking. And then when I fall and I might cuss or whatever I did, I stayed right there because it kept me. It kept me. It wouldn't let me go.
Yes.
I didn't try. I just was just in my own self. I was like, I can't do this do this whole transformation to a sister Lola from a Lolita.
Yeah.
Remember, my name was Lolita.
Right.
Hey, you want to do a transportation from a Lolita to a sister Lola?
Right. Ooh, that's good.
So one day at a time. It took one day at a time. 33 he did. He did it one day at a time. Now I'm Minister Lolita. How you like that? Get the reading that God had for me today. Oh my God. If this wasn't me, my kid started. Oh, I got a daughter. She's the clone baby. She is Lolita, baby. Her name is Shaquila, and she's Lolita. Yeah. And I got a son. My children's father was the dope man.
Right.
And
come on and tell the truth in this.
He is his father's clone.
Yes.
All that negative energy and all that deranged thinking. He is his father.
My Lord.
And there they go. A Lolita and then that person. So I see that whole thing. There they go. And I see that man and myself. Right. I see that again now. My children have taken on everything of that. Right. He took on his father and she took on her mother. Right. And now that she don't have this Lolita. Yeah. She got that Lolita. Right. That good. You know, and there I am in the middle. Then they want to bring me in the middle of their chaos. Mom, hey mom, you know what he said? Mom, hey mom, you know what she said? Right. And then when I gave them the godly woman that I am, when I gave them the version of their discord that they were bringing to me, either of them didn't like it. Yeah. So they hung up on me. Right.
Absolutely.
They hung up.
Yeah.
Right. You one hung up, the boy hung up first, then the other girl, I told her, then she hung up. So I was just like, oh, they done lost their mind. So I was real calm. I said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I know it's the enemy working. I texted him back. I said, honey, did you hang up on me? Honey, did you hang up on me? Right. And the boy, he was good. He clapped back. He said, oh, no, ma'am, I thought you hung up on me. He knew. But the Lolita, that chick, she didn't respond. So God just showed me, and I was carrying that on. I was holding that like, I'm going to bust out my head when I see it. Right. That's how I wanted. That's how I felt. But then here the Lord came. And he said, it's you. It's him. Everything that you're going through is a memory recall. So you handle it in a different manner. Reflection. We're in the season of Rosh Hashanah. We're in a season that it is a season of forgiveness. That's the season that we're in. So because of the season and the remembrance of reflection, I have to handle it a little different.
Yeah. That's good.
All right.
So y'all, man, the level of honesty and truth that's hitting the floor tonight is so encouraging. It speaks not just to your flesh, but to your inner man or woman, the part of you that you cannot see. That's the real you, the real you we cannot see. But sometimes the word can penetrate the flesh that we can't see, and then it has an impact everlasting on the man or woman that we cannot see. Does anybody understand that? Yes. And I love who we are. I love what we do. Lolita, I'm gonna go to Calvin here for a minute. What I want to share with you, and I'm in this boat with you. Some of my older children, they caught the other guy, not me. And even though I was coming out, it wasn't quick enough. And they caught them other pieces of it. And I still struggle. I have 10 children. I still struggle with 3 of my children who 2 of them who want to just demand I am the same guy, and because they don't want to deal with their own behavior, and so they'll say that's your fault. And look, a part of it is true. because the person they needed is the person sitting here. The person they got was the other guy. Somebody say that other guy. Did you hear that? And I watched this carefully. To Lolita's point, that sometimes, you know, when they're longing for the other guy, you just have to kind of stand still and wait them out. Just keep loving, say keep loving. Keep loving. But you got to wait them out until time and circumstance has its way with you. Yeah. And when that happens, at that particular moment, that's your time to step back, right? And be who you are right now, and they will receive you accordingly.
Yes.
All right. I know this because more than 3 was gone before, but now they home. Now they back. Now they in the they right here with me. You get it? Calvin wanted to say something real important.
I guess really she just took all that out of me. I got 5 girls. All of them act like me. I ain't got no boys. That's crazy. Y'all seen one of my girls that I brought to me. Yeah. Man, for some reason, I can't get along with her. I try, but she's like, I must be a boy in you. So she don't give me a break. She tells me all the time, well, Daddy, you know you're kind of slow. I'm like, what you mean? Don't you hear? I can't be slow if I don't you. But I have to step back and think about what I done done. All the stuff I done did. Right. And then my brother Wells, when you were saying that, brother, I went to y'all church and I heard Miss Wells in there, Mother Wells, when you were speaking just then. And that just let me know, because she always told me, son, I want y'all to walk out of that 3 kind of men. You know, because we walking. And when we walk out of that 3rd man, we walking into that man.
That's what she said.
And when I see you, bro, and I hear that, it's just another, that spirit came upon me, because my family was up under that church thing, you know, and I like that. I appreciate that. Miss Rolita took my words, because I was thinking about my daughter, and she the oldest, and she always getting on me, but it's the seed that I put in her. It's that seed I got that I can't have no, I don't know, I guess I can have boys, but I ain't got none. But the way she talked to me, I know I was aggressive all my life. I was the youngest of the boys, 6 boys and 3 girls, so I never got a chance to say nothing. But now my daughter acts like she over me. I'm like, wait a minute. And I appreciate this when I'm put on the spot. Because sometimes that used to get me angry because I didn't know how to deal with life.
That's good.
And now that I done came around, and I think about all the stuff that I went through and why I went through it, because there's another testimony for me to give to somebody. Today I'm blessed. I've been 32 years. Amos and them know me. Everybody know me. But I'm just blessed, man. That when I came in your life, I seen something different. I wanted something different. And I've been home since I met you. But any other time, I was doing 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years here and there. But this time, I stayed home. I've been out 4 years now.
Give my hand. Man, but Larry got to go, man. I hate that. Larry's still working his ISR plan and everything, but he's doing a good job of it. You're going to be with us on Saturday. Let me make this announcement before you leave, before I got everybody here. On this Saturday, say this Saturday.
This Saturday.
From noon until 3. So you need to be there about 11:15 at 420 20 Groveland. Wayne, do you have flyers to hand out to everybody? Or Tierra, do you have flyers? Everybody in here should have a flyer. POP is hosting a COVID-19 testing event. What we're trying to put together is now I won't call it a security force, but I just want to call it a positive presence of Pop Guys. Say Pop Guys. A positive presence of Pop Guys to facilitate any of the doctors who are there. Chris, don't leave. Any of the Pop Guys, any of the doctors who are there, anything they need, because what we designed this for was folks who were on parole. Just as we did to the least of these. So watch this. It's noon to 3. If you have questions, I'm asking you to be there. All hands on deck. Say all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Be in your pop shirt, and your pop shirt has got to be clean. If you're a smoker, and you can't go 2.5 hours without a cigarette, stay home. Don't be mad at me. I'm just trying to tell you, we got to put on the right face on that. All right?
All right.
Any questions about that? You got a flyer right there? Take a flyer with you. Who is next?
I gotta go.
You going?
I'm taking one.
Give Chinny a hand for giving up. You coming on Saturday?
I will try to make it because I have my daughter this weekend. I will definitely try to make it for sure.
Even if
If I don't make it, I will definitely
drive by with your daughter so I can meet her. All right. Doug, what you got?
Dougie Fresh, Pop Guy.
Excuse me, we're giving our brother full attention. Go ahead.
What I got from the reading tonight, it hit home real hard because you all know Lily, your niece Lily.
Right.
You know, I've been home now a little over 2 years, and she about a year ago she came to me and she said, "Dad, I got to tell you something. She said, you got out and I was so scared that you were going to go back to your old ways, and you worried about you being locked up again. That she said, I want to I idolize you and I want to be just like you." So she started smoking weed.
Oh,
Kind of, she said, if my dad does it, my dad was an addict, I'll be just like Dad. And and it broke my heart. But she said, "Dad, I'm proud of you. What you've done. You come out, you're doing good. You're not, you're sober." She said, "I told you this to tell you that I'm gonna quit smoking weed because I want to be just like you did."
Wow.
That's awesome. I'm so proud to have 50 uncles.
I know that's right. Right, and 48 of them African American, so right. So we got a strong bloodline there. Ananias, on you. Just reflect off what people are saying.
I heard everything that everyone was saying. I just have something on my heart.
Go ahead.
Something that happened Wednesday evening when I got home. To my parking spot. When I pulled into my parking spot, there was a gentleman, maybe Middle Eastern descent or something like that. He usually parked in a parking spot next to me. His car is always there. Somebody hit his car. I don't know who it was, but somebody hit his car. But it wasn't me. However, according to him, it was me. I get out of my vehicle and he kind of asked me to come over. I come over and say, "Yeah." He said, "Who hit my car?"
Wow.
I said, "Sir, no. Don't ever put your finger in my face.
Right.
You hit my car, you."
That's how this was.
I ain't touching, Pop. I ain't touching. I just love it. But my words got me in trouble. I'm good with words. My words get me in trouble. I called him everything that I could think of. All right? And he immediately felt bad about it. So I apologized to him. And then I said I didn't hit your car and I left. Thought about it, I came back down to make sure that he didn't decide that he wanted to destroy my truck. And I started taking video of my truck and the police came.
Right.
He called the police.
Absolutely.
He told the police that I threatened him.
Right.
I was going to beat him up. I was going to do this and do that, all that, and do that. Now, mind you, the building that we live in, I'm not on the lease. My baby is on the lease. Okay? So, by him doing that, they gave her an infraction because I'm a visitor there. So she may be losing her place.
Right.
On account of this guy. Right? Now, we have friends in the building. And everybody's telling me this guy has a problem, a real issue. It's not the first time he had it with anybody, But the thing about it is that this building, they took this guy's side. I'm just really upset at myself because I allow my words to hurt somebody, and that's not me. That's not. but I just got caught off guard with how he approached me.
Right.
So it just really kind of, it just kind of threw me back.
Yeah.
Thank God I had enough in me not to touch him though. I didn't touch him.
My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
But it was a really, really hard thing. And I'm sitting there, and it's really hard for me right now because I'm thinking to myself, right, like, here I am confronted with this again. And it's like, it's almost as if like I feel powerless, you know?
Right.
Because it's like, this man's word over mine.
Right.
I seem to always be on the losing end of it. You know? So it's like now I just gotta figure out like we gotta figure out I'm gonna try to meet with these people. We're gonna meet with these people and we're gonna try to get every party involved to meet with these people. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna be really honest with these people. And if they decide to go ahead and go on with it, then that's cool. Cause I'm in the hunt for a house anyway. Yeah, but I just hate that it went down like that. I put her in a particular situation, you know what I mean? And I hated to do that with her. But it really wasn't, it was just an aggravated situation.
My goodness.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bring you.
That's where you're supposed to be.
So it's like,
so look right here. I want you to look right here. So I'm gonna give some feedback first, and then anybody after that who want to say something. But, and I'm saying this to everybody, all pop guys. You know, I tell you, even when you're yet incarcerated, you have to have your own place.
Yeah.
And so when Ananiah came home, he came home to the pop house. Now, stuff happens at the pop house. You know, shoot, Isaac by himself, you know, just keeps so much stuff going, you know. Dear God, you know. But it's still at the pop house.
Yep.
And then just because it's at the pop house, he got a chance to stay free. Somebody say stay free. Stay free. Now when Ananias was at the pop house, and he was actually, you know, there. You know, see, it was his spot for the time. I was saying, man, you got to get your own place. I'm only telling you this because even though, you know, he's a right-doing brother and he's been taking care of business 100%, here's this one area here with the weakest link. Say the weakest link. The weakest link. Temptation never comes to you in your strong places. It only ever comes to you in the weakest places. So then, here comes, wait a minute. The demon is this boy wasting time over here where you it's your job where they love you and that all this and that. But right here where your area is weak, don't be mad. Then this is where the attack comes. Ananias is supposed to have his own place, and Mama need to be living with him, right? So that therefore it changes the right of ownership. Now the apartments philosophy is going to be, hey, he's on the lease, he's a renter, this is a guest.
Right.
Right? And so, and your argument is, yes, I'm a guest. Now I'm going to the next level here. That yes, I'm a guest, but I certainly have never hit anybody's car. And if I would have, I would have certainly called the police. This was the key for him to get out of what was coming. He didn't see. He got angry. He didn't see what was coming. Right. As soon as he went to the house, he should have called the police. And you know why I say it? Because that way, the first person in, it's like a lawsuit, whoever files first. Yeah. So then you quick say, wait a minute, this guy is, hey, he's accusing me of stuff. I don't know who he is. He's in my face. He's making me feel threatened. That was your move there. then we have to say, okay, well, sir, you see, and you got to play this game. Somebody say play it.
Play.
Otherwise, it'll play you. But I want to. This is a great example, and I appreciate it so much. So, it may force you to do what you should have did right from the beginning, but you got comfortable, and then you done let this thing be out of order. Your place is number one. When you leave Pop House, you're trying to get your own place. You go into ownership, or you go into your own apartment, so that you don't have that. We can't afford that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I could say more, but I love Ananias, and I'm gonna be with him in whatever this thing is, and we're gonna see it through. That's for sure. But I'm saying this to everybody right here: you got to have your own spot. Duval, you in that same position. You got to get your. That's why I'm calling you with numbers. You got to follow them numbers up. Get somewhere on you got your job and all the stuff you just talked about. Then maximize it. Right. Get up out of there, because this is gonna happen. I'm just telling you the truth. Right. The number one way for a pop guy to go to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship. What was this? Absolutely. Didn't have nothing to do. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you're absolutely right. It is. Having my own place is, is that was the plan. But I procrastinated. I just procrastinated. You know what I mean? I was just saving money. I was getting my credit score up, and I was making sure everything was okay. Now I'm on the hunt now.
Yeah, right.
I got the loan and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just on the hunt for the house right now. I want to make sure the seat's straight right now. I got her clear and get that taking off photos. She had nothing to do with that. That was that guy. But you're right, I need to get my own place, and I'm on it right now.
And your neighbors, you need them right now to be collateral witnesses.
Oh yeah, they're definitely. They've already sent messages to the guy and saying, "Hey, listen, I've had incidents with this guy. You guys got it on record. I know this guy right here. He's a mentor to boys. Yeah, he mentors my kid.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah. So I mean, I have all that backing. You know what I mean? I just think that they're kind of jumping the gun with what they're trying to do.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because we called the office first.
Mm-hmm.
And he called the police, but we called the office place first and let them know the incident went down, what it was about, and that there was a police report ready. So we contacted them first.
Right.
They let us know they were going to redo everything and look at it, and then everybody's going to get together and have a conversation. That never happened. They never got no conversation. We get a letter, we get something pushed up under the door today, telling us there's an infraction and all that. And because I live there, I'm like, no, I don't. You guys have my ID on file. My address is 4943 Penn Avenue. That's my actual address. I just been out there because it's closer to work.
Right.
But you're right, I need my own place, and I'm definitely right now.
Point blank. I want to say something. This brother gonna say something. You got it.
I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about it. That's my little brother. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I've been home a year. Come on, give some luck. And my biggest fear is to tell people that I am afraid. You know what I'm saying? It's been scary being out here, man. I've been locked up, and before I came up here, I did 16 years. I just did 20 years. So I'm institutionalized. I mean, that's just true. And I don't know how to, I'm not used to a lot of stuff, technology. I just quit school because people just got out of their body with me, but I'm very scared. That's the truth. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Let me tell you how afraid I am. My roommate raised his voice at me Saturday, and we was rolling around on the ground, on Central, Northeast on the ground, like two crazy people. I'm almost gonna be 60 years old. I'm gonna have to fight for 27-year-old fight like it, man. Kicking and fighting and karate. Wow, you know what I'm saying? Throwing balls and keys at each other. People just videotaping. You know, I said, oh, man. So, it finally stopped because my leg gave out. My leg gave out. He didn't want to, but he called me. He called me with a knee. So he bagged and be like, thank you. I said, I'm all right now. I ain't tripping on that. I said, we needed to do that. You know, because I was mad at him for something going on in the house that I discussed with Pop weeks before that about him. Sure. Yeah, so we ain't gonna go back. But I'm scared, bro. I'm scared of me. I'm scared because I've never in my life been a hard looking dude. I've always looked gentle. And people, I'm just saying, man, but I'm just saying, I always look like a very gentle cat. And then when that time arrives, they be like, he's a monster. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I'll go there. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that. And I'm scared of that. And I'm scared. And I would have been scared of in that position. Wow. Because I'd had I probably would have sucked the thing, took it out of his head, blew it down his throat. I just get people crazy, man. I want to hurt you when you're trying to hurt me, man. Right. When I think, and I said, man. So you got no sugar? You got sugar? Yeah. Right here. I survived out here a year, man. In fear, but I did it. I did it, man. I went and I did a lot of stuff left-handed, man. You know what I'm saying? I be talking to my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? We be talking. Hey, how you doing? Ain't there? You know what I'm saying? Walking the dog. My roommate got a dog. I be walking the dog, man. Like this. But and then the fear came. My age made me mad, and I slung the dog in her so hard I knocked her down the stairs. I mean, I was trying to hurt that lady. I was mad, and she seen it. She said, "Andre," and I don't know when she said that, but it got me back. And I said, "You know what? I said you're a white woman." And I said that in India they take an elephant and they put him on a chain, and then they put him on a string. And I feel you be trying to train me and do me like this. I'm everywhere I go, text you. I'm not texting you everywhere I go. When I go someplace, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, so many words. Come on, man, stop it. And I'm a thinker, and I'm smart, and I've been in penitentiary surviving all my life. I got my eyes, I got my teeth. Come on, man. I feel. I got sick. I feel when people just out of their bodies with me, man. You know what I'm saying? They get out of their body with me because I talk general. I don't cuss no more and be all, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to excuse me, yes, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes I feel I got to stop doing that. And I got to just go on the turn the hat to the right. You know what I'm saying? You saying? Put on my Timberlands. You know, and just be, and almost make them people make me to be what I am on paper. Yes.
That's good. That's good. Give him some depth for that, man. I'm praising God for a place like this where you can come and tell that much truth. Let me just say this, man, to DeAndre, but to everybody, man, his case is like 39 years old. The case, he's on ISR for a case 39 years ago. And wait a minute, he never reoffended in all that time, just technical violated. Yeah. And I'm up here saying, man, at some point, you know, it's the switches, the stuff is turning. You know, how long can you be on ISR? And I admire him for being, just for dealing with it this long. And no, text that lady, and let's go ahead and
he said,
let me tell you what I thought up here. 777 93 11. Text that lady.
lady! Somebody say text the lady! You told me too soft in here. Somebody say text that lady!
Cause look, we gotta put this thing finally to rest, man. We got a year under his belt, you know what I mean? They gotta cut some string here in a minute now. Text that lady.
Hey, DeAndre, I know you good. I know you're doing good. All I want to know is, can you text the lady? Text that lady! If she ain't sent you back and you still here. Somebody say text that lady!
Go back to that though, she didn't send me back.
Right.
But she gave me 6 days.
Guess what? You can do that. You done 40 years. That's it.
Look. Now look, the lady, you know, you're not. Okay, hold on. Okay, we back. But watch this. Sherrod, what you got?
Feeding back off for him. Me being dumb, you know, getting comfortable where I was at, decided, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and transition to 5 minutes after, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, what's too bad? People driving down the street, running red lights, trying to tear up your car, walking up on you with masks, and
Right.
I'm trying to keep in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pull it out.
Right.
I'm on what he on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Help us, Lord. Stay on.
Man, I done went out to Mendoza Heights. And them people on parole out there so crazy, man. I say, Pop, please call somebody and find me a crib.
All right.
Because I was being comfortable, you know what I'm saying? I was being comfortable where I was at. And the person that I was getting my mail at, you know, we got into a situation, so I had to move around. So I found myself out of Mendoza Heights pretty much. And that wasn't working out. I done went non-compliant twice within 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I called Pop, called Tierra, called Wayne. They all plugged me with somebody, you know. So tomorrow I'm supposed to be talking to him. But that was that comfortability. I've been out since 2018. Violated in May. January of 19. Got out in May. And I had my own before I went back. But when I violated, I lost it. So when I came home in May of 19, I got comfortable where I was at.
Right.
P.O. cool, he ain't pressuring me. You know what I mean? I'm cool, I'm straight. Then all of a sudden I get into it with the person that I'm living with. Well, really place to get my mail at. And it's time to go. Went to Mendoza Heights. I'm liking it out there. Pops sit up there and make some arrangements, you know, to try to find somebody, you know, bring me a crib. It's definitely not the money, but it's the background. It's the background, it's the security, it's the things that go against it. And when I felt I had plenty of time to sit up here and, you know, get a crib, but you know, being and being cool where I'm at, because it's not a problem then. But I seen it coming. But I felt like if I can control the situation and feed somebody with money or whatever the situation was, it'd be cool. It didn't work like that. I texted my PO. This man said, Sherrod, you got 2 weeks. I want you to go down there to check on my phone. What is that place out there in New Hope? The halfway house, whatever it is. In New Hope. Cross their home. I went down there and talked to them people. I called my PO. I said, look, he cool. Seemed like a very nice guy. I said, but I need my independence. Now I'm starting to realize how important it is for me to have my own crib. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm bagging Pops and them trying to find me something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, help me out. Because I know that they work with fellas and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not that I haven't been trying, it's just that, you know, me doing what I'm doing, doing the construction and then running the clothing situation is I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? So, but Pops and them looked out for me and made a phone call for me, and we got that in the works tomorrow. But independence, man, it's,
Give him some love. Shiraz's a good brother. Ananias is a good brother. DeAndre is a good brother. You know, and we all matter.
Yes.
Everybody in this room, we all matter. But look, you can't do this out of order. You can think you can. You can think you can do it out of order, but then it just come back and bite you. And when the bite comes, it's going to be poisonous. I'm just telling you the truth. If you're working, you got a steady job. You're either working, living at POP, right, or wherever you are at. You leave that place to your own place and not to your woman's. I don't care how much you love her and how long y'all been together. I'm just saying. I would say that to Donald, except he came out married. Somebody say he's married. That means she got paper. Yeah. You know that song. She's got paper. Oh. Give him a hand. She got paper. And she's a good girl. But I'm gonna just tell you, this is what we got to do to get the order straight. Get the order straight. Adam, where art thou?
Yeah.
Get the order straight. Get the order straight. Your order's got to be straight. You can't be out of order. Somebody say, get the order straight. Get the order straight. Yeah, you can find love, and I appreciate it. But if the love is out of order, the domestic side of it will come back and bite you, and you will have to pay the price. Sure will. Act like you get that. Somebody come on here. Do you get it? Let me get somebody else involved. David, what you got? Isaac, I'm coming to you next.
I think I can feed off of what they're saying recently about we can't get comfortable. Like I did this ISR stuff, I beat it in Ramsey County.
All right.
I went out to Washington County the first few times I got out after I did my 20 years, and then I was thinking that okay, I'll get out of the city, I can avoid all the gang stuff and all that, but it didn't work out because I never lasted more than 30 days out there. They violate you, they didn't give me a chance, right? So I came to the city. I figured I could be a small fish in a big pond.
There you go.
I beat my ISR. At first they knocked me because of my record from Washington County. But after he seen that he didn't give me a good chance, like he worked with me after that. I beat it. I beat my ISR. However, I don't know if everybody knows this. Once you're ISR, say you got a body or something. If you go ISR, you beat it, you violate, go back later, you come out, you're on ISR again.
Yeah.
And so there is no getting comfortable. So we can't allow ourselves to get comfortable in our situations, you know what I mean? But one thing I think this group is good for is we create and harness a whole bunch of power here. Power to all our people, for us, for each other. And as long as we can maintain that and just embrace that, I think we got a better chance. But one thing we got to do is make sure we don't get comfortable. We got to own what we got.
That's good. That's good. Come on, give him some love. Part of being comfortable is having your own. There's an exhale that comes with it that without saying no words, it just puts a whole bunch of situations to rest. Come on, son.
Okay.
Say your name, everybody don't know
My
you.
name is Kumar Lukman. Okay, 71 years old. I've been doing a lot of things in my life. I know that gentleman right there for 20 years. DeAndre, we was all in there together.
Yeah.
And when I got out of there, first of all, I was 55 years old before I got my GED.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was working at.
Wait a minute, stop right there. Did you hear what he just said?
Yes.
Give him a big hand.
I was working at a sewing. I got all the credentials on sewing, from cutting table to measuring and all that stuff. I know how to sew. Know how to fix machines and all that. Then when I got out of prison, I said I was gonna get my CDL, so I got busy on that. I went with Minnesota. Oh, wait a minute. Twin Cities Rising. So I went to Twin Cities Rising, and I saw this dude named Tony down there. So he hooked me up, and I ended up going to this truck driving school over in St. Paul. So I got my license and stuff. I guess I got too comfortable.
You still got him?
Yeah, I still got him. Yeah, I still got him. And I messed up, and then my parole officer don't want me to stay in my own house. So I had to go back to this step down house over south. So I'm in the step down house right now.
Who is your parole? Oh, that was before you got.
My parole officer now is Roy.
Yeah, but before that, was it Roy then?
No, Roy just new parole.
Okay, got it. I'm sorry.
So anyway, Roy and my counselors don't want me to stay in my own house. So when I come out of the step down program, they want me to find an apartment, which I told him, I said, I think that's crazy. Y'all gonna make me pay somebody else, and I got my own house. That sounds crazy to me, but this is what they want me to do. So I'm gonna have to dance for them.
Wow.
You know.
Did you hear that? Now let me show you one thing. If he was with us a long time ago, they wouldn't be talking to him like that. Because I would like, we just getting to know him, and Roy, artist, he's a friend, and whatever. He have referred him, and he's been coming faithfully. But if he's a pop guy and he's having that trouble, we can intervene in that and have another voice in there where it's not you saying it, but somebody from the outside is saying it that can advocate on your behalf. But take me up to today. Now, where are you staying right now? Just
right now I'm in 2621 Columbus Avenue. That's where they step down house is at.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
So you have to pay rent there and your.
No, they let me stay there for free.
Okay.
And they buy me $45 worth of food a week.
All right.
So.
Right. Right. And you still got your place.
Yeah, I still got my place, man. That ain't going nowhere.
Well, look, you done accomplished something. Give him a hand here. What you doing on your sobriety?
I'm hanging in there, so
You sober? Yes, I'm sober. Give him a hand.
Tax forfeit, and I paid $30,000 for it. And my brother loaned me $150,000. I put that in the house, so it's probably about close to $300,000 now.
Look at him! Look at the doctor. And he living rent free in somebody else's spot. But you know what? Only look young. Somebody's 71 years old. He's looking all young. It's getting a little late here. I want to get a couple more people in. Isaac, I want to get Isaac in, and then I don't know what the wind must be like outside that blew strong enough to blow Solomon in here. But there he is sitting. Must be the wind or something. I don't know. But he had threats. Okay, that sounds better. But I want to get Isaac in here and see if have you got anything, Isaac, from what you've heard tonight?
Yeah, well, I got it. It's relating a lot with banking situation. Yeah, I like for her to be in here.
DeAndre.
Is DeAndre out there?
DeAndre.
Yeah, I think he had an accident. Go ahead.
Well, talk about but what they going on with me is.
So listen to what everybody else is saying and take that into consideration to what's happening. Yeah.
self-related thing?
Well, first of all, what my parents told me to do, it was 50-50. What I saw my parents do was very little. I learned all my stuff from the streets. Going out of my way, I seen people I liked, I emulated them, and I got into that life. My parents raised me right, my parents raised me good. My parents had no fault in how I chose to live my life and how I turned out. That's first of all. Second of all, a lot been going on in the last 7 days. Friday, got in a car accident, 3-car collision, and I got the guy in the middle claiming that he's injured, but my insurance told me, don't even worry about it, because he was going 8 to 10 miles an hour, so there's no way he got injured. But I thank God that I know where I'm at today, because I'm nowhere near the person I was when I walked in that door. My first inclination was, I cut me off, first of all, which triggered the accident. My first reaction was to go run him down, get him, beat him down, and bring him back to the scene of the crime. That was my first thought. But then the Holy Ghost told me, you better not. You better not, for several reasons. Because when I go there, I go there. I don't care who's watching. I don't care. I don't care if the police is across the street. I don't care when I'm in that frame of mind. So I didn't do it. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I ain't never had an accident in my life. So that right there had me all emotional. But I dealt with it. The people that were involved, for the most part, they was understanding. There was a lot that I didn't know about my insurance and all that, because I ain't never been in no accident. And I didn't care about no insurance, because when I had my other cars, I didn't have no insurance. So this was all new to me. When I first got out of prison, I did 38 years. As all y'all that know me that did time, I'm up for a challenge. I don't care what it is, I'm up for a challenge. My first challenge was, I'm not going back to steal no more. I'm not going to do nothing that's going to allow me to go back to A's, B's, D's, or none of that. So that was my biggest challenge when I first walked out there doing it. The new technology that was going on, yeah, it was hard for me to grasp at first, but I just started getting it in. I started asking questions, I started learning, I started taking notes. I was okay. What I was nervous about was your situation. Because Lord knows, I go there like that. And I haven't had that since I've been out. I thank God that I haven't had that. And I think now that if I had that situation, I could really kind of like laugh, but be angry inside, but I wouldn't put my hands on it.
So there goes DeAndre behind you.
Yes. My thing, DeAndre, when I first got out, man, I was scared to death. Because inside, we're in a whole nother world. We put ourselves in that position. When we inside, we really learn a whole new lifestyle. We learn a whole new set of rules. We learn a whole new everything. Outside don't even exist no more. All that is a memory. When I got back out, I had to learn how to live again. And I had to learn how to live right, because there were so many years that I had to learn to live wrong. That living right didn't even feel right. Even though I knew right. It was the first time I was doing right. actually enjoying doing right and feeling funny at the same time. But the more I did it, the more I got comfortable with it. The more I started enjoying it. As Pop saying, we having our teachers to good life. I started living the good. Yeah, I struggle. Yeah, I struggle. Of course I struggle because I still want to do what I want to do sometimes. But I'm still learning that ain't getting me nowhere from where I just came from. So the cold reality of it is that just stop it. Stop it. Stop it before you get what you really don't want.
That's right.
So
That's right, Isaac.
forcing myself to stay humble and forcing myself to say a kind word. Even if I don't want to say a kind word to the individual I'm speaking to, which I did today at work, I did it. And that person came to me and they told me straight up, you know, I respect you. I don't know you, but I respect you because I know sometimes I'll be an L and I know you can snap because you have that look. And I know what look he talking about. You see what I'm saying? But for him to say it out of his mouth, that meant a lot to me. Because he don't get along with hardly nobody in the company.
Well, let me stop you right there. Now, because we're floating around a little bit, but I want to catch you here with the thing that he said that was of substance, which is dealing with that accident. That accident is a domestic issue. Number one way for one of us, a pop guy, to go back to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship. And that's what he had right there was the domestic relationship. And so part of what, and Isaac he's telling some of it, because now if he was in one of them other transitional houses, he might not be sitting here. But because he's living at the Pop House, you know, there's some grace and mercy there that don't exist in them other places. And I'm just telling the truth. But watch this though. All them years that I was coming in prison, I went in 15 straight. Isaac was in my class up there in Furbo, and then every couple of weeks, 3 months, you know, he would clown the population and they would throw him out of the class, and I would have one of my friends get him back in the class. Because I just wanted to keep working him. And I just didn't want to stop because I want somebody, you got them all boxed in, he's a box, he fits in a box, he's in that box, he's in that one box. You know, we got a label for the box and we got a name for the box. And I'm trying to say, no, we got to see this brother different than just somebody in the box. It's a hard job, but somebody and I just appreciate he's getting there. But when you get ready to leave the Pop House, he's with Miss Brenda now. She's nice, but you can't live at Brenda's house and win. Right. She could want you to. Yeah. She could offer it to you, but it's the wrong choice. I'm just coming straight out and saying. Absolutely. It's the wrong choice for you and anybody else in here. If you're working and you have your own income, which you should have, I don't care if you're on Social Security and you're living with your girl, you're going to get put out of there. What she want. And so you just got to mess around here and make sure you get your order straight while you're learning, while you're readjusting. He was gone a long time, I get that. But I'm telling you now, there's a way to do it. There's a right way to do this, and you have to do it the right way. Otherwise, we have to pay a price. Now here he's just Mr. coming home from work, and the next thing you know, it's a potential threat, and then we have to look up his record to see, you know, who he is. Now the worm done turned, and the script is flipped. Say flip the script. Flip the script. Yeah, we can't have that. And you know what I should have said earlier on, and I didn't say that. I'm gonna send you an email or a message. On Saturday, we should meet here first. Come here. Come here to the office, 10:30, between 10:30 and 11, and we'll go either caravan down, and I'll have Wayne to contact you Saturday, and because we're going to do our thing on on Saturday. Saturday is the event that we got two houses that came on board, 180 and Portland House, right? And so we're going to try to support that and be in your pop uniform, your pop shirt, have your good attitude, but meet here at between 10:30. The offices are open at 10:30, and then we can gather up and get juiced up correctly.
Amen.
Yeah, and then we can go together as like a force. I need all hands on deck for this, right? We're gonna have to show who we are, and so all this and that. Roger, you've been sitting over there so patiently. You ain't said that all night. It's almost time to get out of here. I'm gonna give Roger in.
You know, I'm like a sponge. I was quick to talk growing up. My mom said I had fast lips, so as I aged, I learned to be quick to just listen.
Okay.
Sometimes things not meant to be said. But what I've learned is when I heard Sister say she was afraid, I think of that every day. Because sometimes I get in my own way. So I'm so grateful to have good people around me to remind me to slow down and take my time. I can't be thankful enough how many times I hear that.
That's right.
From everybody, majority of this room. You know, even every night when I call and talk to you, Pops, or text you, it's slow down. So what I get out of this reading is I'm the kid that spilled the eggs on the soup. Because that's my garbage. I would carry it around with me and showcase it when I was put on that front in the street. But then when it was time to admit it and have some integrity in front of mom or my older uncles, I would lie.
Yes.
You know, and I realized over the years that lying just adds to more lying. And that lie just carry more pain and more weight each time you have to refurbish it. Because I got to the point where I was lying so much I couldn't even remember the lie. So I was lying to myself, trying to remember it.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't doing that but inflicting self-pain, self-hate on myself. But it was once I learned to operate in integrity, I say I can be Roger now. And I don't have to worry about what others will say about me. Because it feels good telling the truth. It feels good being honest. And it feels good to love myself. And that's the self-love I've been working hard on. That's right. You know, so I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But when I'm over here sitting down just listening, I'm just soaking it all in.
Give us some love. All right, so we're going to get you in here now. You done heard everybody, and you hear what we're talking about. So let's hear a little bit from you tonight.
Well, I want to speak a little bit on that out of order thing. Because I did things completely out of order. I mean, completely out of order. Left my house, moved in with a woman that didn't turn out the way planned, started back drinking, had to leave my house, didn't know where I was going, wondering when they was going to pick me up and send me back to jail. It was a hard road getting back to the correct order of things, you know, and what made it doable is because I had so many people that was reaching out for me. And I thought in my mind, what if I had not been a member of POP? And I'd have followed that same situation. I probably would still be in jail right now. Still be in jail. October 15th, next month, it'll be a year I've been out of prison.
Wow, man, you're my hand.
But I wasn't throwing rocks at the penitentiary. I was down there kicking at the door and running. Kicking at the door and running. You know, and every once in a while a pop guy pull up, say, man, get your behind in this car. I'm good, I know what I'm doing. I'm good, I know what I'm doing, just like that reading I just read. You know, when confronted, I wanted to cover up, I wanted to lie. You know, and the fact of the matter is I needed so much help, you know, needed to be snatched in the collar. You know, and say, look, dude, I love you. You're not going to continue to do this. You know, I respond to that kind of thing. You know, come here. You know, and just the other day, I had a craving for some alcohol.
Come on.
And I talk bad to me. I'm talking about I talk bad to me. I talk till I got an attitude with me. I mean, you soft. Weak. I call myself a few other names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm getting mad at me for calling me these names. And I'm arguing with myself. I ain't soft. I ain't weak.
Right.
Yes, you is. Yes, you is. You soft and weak, man. You can't even withstand alcohol. Yes, I can.
Yes, sir.
Prove it.
Yes, you can.
You know, prove it to me. You know, and I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. Yeah, because you soft. All right, I'll show you. I'll show you. I went right in the kitchen and fixed me a pot of coffee and watched the basketball.
I hope the tape recorded that conversation, you know, with himself. That was pretty powerful. And we all, that self-talk, yeah, we all been there on that. You know, we're gonna have to pledge out of here because it's about 8 o'clock or just close to it. But you know, wow, man, what an amazing time. On Saturday, if you're riding or driving, you meet here at 10:30. I'm gonna have the office open at 10:30. And we may have some final instructions, and then we can caravan over there and go on and do this testing thing. If you also can be tested yourself if you want to. It's not mandatory, but it's available. You know, might as well take advantage of it. But let's do we get everybody a time? Yeah. Let's get out of here, y'all. Because you got some money coming out your pocket. Your money coming out. Yeah. Come on, let's gather up real quick. What did he tell you?
Somebody that get my cups. Come on, bless them. Holding up there.
Chris, come on in here. Slide down, Curtis. Way down. Move your chair out your way. Way down.
I command him from holding up, but I command you too, brother, from that man putting his finger in your face. Oh my God. Come on. Last thing a man can get.
Come on. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back. Full strength. Full strength. Richard, they're going to Richard over there. Real quick, slide down some more. Move back, Dr. Webb. Push yourself back. Watch this. Now, last Saturday, Richard McLemore came by to the Pop 2 and conducted a housing discussion.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, man, it was an amazing discussion about how to get to housing's next level. And his proposition was none of us have ever truly been taught about how to do housing and what housing is supposed to really be. We just assume I got to get a spot, but that doesn't explain all of it. There's a lot more dynamics. We're going to have the class again next Saturday at Pop 2. It's mandatory for the Pop students, but available for everybody else. And what we're thinking is we may even invite them here on a couple of Tuesdays to do it for us. But man, that was great, man. Yeah, it was really great. 12 o'clock noon for that training. What time are we going to meet here for the Saturday event?
10:30.
Thank you.
There's one other thing.
One other thing.
October 15th is when they're doing the huge ordination pastoral.
We're going to get to that. We're going to leave that one out for now, but next week we'll take care of that. You know, we'll take care of that. Dr. Webb is being ordained as a pastor of the church, but we're going to catch that. We got time to get there. So let's pledge out. I will balance my family values. With my goals. I will exercise wisdom. Think about that word. Ananias. Just Ananias. Just Ananias, nobody else. I will. Just Ananias, nobody else. Exercise wisdom.
Exercise wisdom.
And what I choose to eat.
And what I choose to eat.
Read.
Do.
And say.
I
will. This is just Ananias.
I will.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise
I am wisdom.
I'm
wisdom. Wise dominion.
I am wise dominion.
I'm a bad man. I am somebody. I will. Strive to make all relationships. Win-win. No deal. I will. Under every circumstance. Maintain a positive attitude.
Maintain a positive attitude.
I will. Wait, let's go back to that. I will. Under every circumstance. Maintain a positive attitude. Would you just think about what you just said?
Yes.
This is talking about keeping your mouth under control.
Yes. Words. Yes. Oh.
I will. Enjoy my life. With a sense of humor. While taking advantage of opportunities. And learning from my misfortunes. So I was just thinking that Saturday after the event on the 26th, we should meet in the morning and just have a walk around former Lake Calhoun, is Badekaska. Just go for a walk, just to be together, see how that feels, and then we could also try to ride bikes. If for those who can ride or want to ride or try to ride, we can get up there and ride our bikes. You know, just get some exercise. You know, because this winter is coming too quick.
Yes, it is.
And I would like for us to enjoy ourselves outside a little bit. I will act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon me. This is just anybody else. Ananias, I will act upon circumstances rather than have them fools act upon me. Act upon circumstances. So you were confronted by a fool. Yes, which was a circumstance. Right, and you're gonna act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon you. Correct. Is that right? Correct. I will. On a daily basis. Be proactive with my goals. That means you have to have goals.
Amen.
See, if you're living in the pop house and you have a goal to move at some point, then you ain't doing it right. The pop house is not your house forever. It's a transitional spot. You can't waste up your money in all kinds of things if you don't have no spot because you're out of order. I will. Always protect my wisdom, my health, and my happiness. I will stay principle-centered, maintain a positive circle of influence. I want you to think about what you just said. If you ain't paying attention to whose circle you're moving around in, then you got subtractors biting at your sobriety.
Right. Yes.
And sometimes your own thinking is a subtractor. And some people just need to join a church and just sit there and allow the church and God's voice to nourish you. Stop trying to do it all by yourself. Just go somewhere and sit down. I will. Daily learn, commit, and do. I will. Act according to the POP Leadership Institute. Productive in my community and my private life. Because I am somebody. All right, now hug somebody. Let's get on out of here. Help clean up.